The first stock we will talk about is HelloFresh, one of the biggest growth stories from Germany, but it's still very high potential to invest in. This and many more stocks here for the stocks to watch or buy in June 2020. Now let's talk about HelloFresh. So first of all, HelloFresh is a upstart, just a couple of years old, and they are delivering you the ingredients to cook a world-class meal. You heard about this idea? Well, they are conquering currently Europe with it. And not only there, they're also starting to do this in the US as well. Now, this sounds like a great opportunity, especially with the growth of food delivery business is exponentially. And this you can see also in their Q1 results. The Q1 results are absolutely insane. So think about it. The first quarter was 68% active customer growth. Then we had 64% revenue growth. We had reduced marketing expenses. We had 300 million in cash in the bank, and just the quarter one was 100 operating positive cash flow for the company, which is, I love that, okay? I love that when they are cash rich. Also, I love that they are actually the founders and one of the very important entrepreneurs and billionaires, Oliver Summer, who is the founder of Rocket Internet, one of the biggest entrepreneur and startup accelerator in Europe, guys. They usually take concepts from the US, copy them in Europe and make them so big and sometimes sell them back to the original. So actually they got really famous by doing this with eBay, for example, right? So actually this, you see, there's very good core team behind it. The idea seems to work very well, plus very much growth. But the stock is somewhere around 35 euros. Why I think it's a little bit too high to invest right now, but what you should watch currently, all about it now in the stock review. So let's have a look into the HelloFresh stock. And as you can see here from the 6-month chart, the only direction that HelloFresh went up to was up. And it was so good that it barely touched the moving averages, and this is actually what I'm thinking is a good opportunity to buy into this absolutely interesting growth story. So as you can see, there is the 200 moving average here in pink, and then you have the 50 moving average here in green. Then you have the stock chart in blue, and as you can see, the very moment here back end of February when the stock just tanked under the moving average, then it went straight up again, and then we had the overall market down where we saw the stock at below 20 even, right? And then it went straight up and is now somewhere around 36.62. However, I believe that an interesting entry point is somewhere here that would be around 10, 15, 12% less than it's currently right now. However, I think, the last time it was at this levels was end of April. So it could be that it's a little bit in this trend right now. It's a very interesting channel here that the stock is moving at. It's now interesting to see if they can hold this channel here. As you can see, they broke out. If you are looking that this is somehow of a resistance line here, but if we are taking the new steps here, then we can see that it's interesting to see if we can hold this area or we go down below the moving average, which would be fantastic to buy HelloFresh for 32. I think that's an interesting stock, a very growth stocks, and I believe that they further have the potential to grow absolutely insane. The next stock is a positive news. Why? Because in my personal opinion, you can buy it right now. And we are talking about Virgin Galactic. Not only the space industry got a huge push by the SpaceX launch, but also this company is just in the pace in the next couple of months to totally outbreak. And I will tell you why. First of all, we need to look into the stock, because if you're looking into the stock just a couple of months ago, they were somewhere around 20 in the beginning of May. Then if you're looking even 3 months ago or 6 months ago, you see the highest point was for them 19th of February, where they almost reached $40 per stock. Since then, they lost obviously a lot of drive, because they still have to prove that they can do those space flights, and they have nevertheless thousands of people that are willing to just go on this journey once Virgin Galactic say, hey, we go ahead. Okay, so once this happened, we saw the stock around 12, 11, and then since then it went up to 20 levels. Then it broke down again, and I said always in my vlogs, if you're following, if not, make sure to subscribe and like to help and support this channel. However, I said 14 would be an ideal price to buy the stock. However, it went up to 15, and I said, long term, is it really right to say, I need to buy it at 14 when I can buy it at 15? And if the stock goes to 40, 50, 70, $100, it doesn't really matter, right? So I went ahead, and since then I'm buying every now and then. I have now an average price of $15.9. Now, here comes the point why I think that now is a good time to buy. Now, we don't know how far the stock market can go up. It seems like the overvaluation is still going on, and it's totally, let's say, disattached from the reality. However, the Fed seems to be like the golden parachute for many investors, and say, if something happened, the Fed comes and just buys some assets. Now, this seems to be good for an investor, especially for bullish investors, but it's also not right to have a very healthy market, and therefore I believe that's not good long term. However, this is the short term situation on the market. And once we see this, you saw many companies very much going up, even though their economic and earnings and everything didn't look good for Q2. Still, the stock goes up. Example, Apple, right? All-time high. So we are at this levels where I think, I don't know what the stock market will really do when the Q2 numbers are going out, right? Which will be the whole effect of the health crisis. So this will be interesting. However, in terms of Virgin Galactic, you see that they are way below the really high levels that other companies were. So I think there is still potential short term. And also, what can happen, let's say they bring some bad news out, or the market goes down, so you can see that the stock would go to maybe 12 to 10 to 8. However, this would be, let's say, a risk of 50% losing your money short term of the volatility that this growth stocks has. On the other side, you see, if this continues, then the stock can go to 100 if we have good news on Virgin Galactic doing the first flight, doing more tests and so on. So it's all about that, to see, okay, my risk is minus 50% maybe, and I can buy more. Then I would happily buy more Virgin Galactic when it drops to 7, guys. I would love to do this. Just load up the stock and then, send it to the moon. However, it's also all about what will happen when the stock will go up. Then you have a huge potential to triple, 4 times, 5 times your money with a risk of 50% short term. So I believe, the chances, the risk reward is quite interesting, and therefore I think you can buy right now. Effectively, their customers are not affected by any health crisis or anything, because those are very strong financial customers that don't care about, kind of economical downturns. They have the money to do these experiences, and it's actually, without a doubt, the best experience that you can buy for money in the whole wide world. And just don't forget, this is a marketing machine, guys. When the first flight will happen, this will shoot the stock very, very much up. But then afterwards, there is celebrities, very known people, wealthy people that are spreading the word, spreading the experience in their social media, that which will reach millions of people worldwide that want to do the same, or just the hunger for the stock will be there. So I believe that this is, just a no-brainer right now. And last but not least, I want to go again with you into Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat is now on the verge of opening with China. This means since today, we are seeing Beyond Meat products in KFC, in Pizza Hut, and this will help to grow this company and it reach into Asia, which is so important, guys. However, the optimal price to buy in my personal opinion, is below 100, because there are some average moving lines. Moreover, be patient, because this was a company that didn't wanted to give any guidance for Q2. This usually means that they might see that there's a downturn because of the lockdowns, because people are not eating in restaurants and so on and so forth. So maybe there is our really good opportunity to buy in back into this stock, because maybe you followed, or maybe you got the idea when I talked about when I went into the stock and I bought at 85, so I can enjoy some huge profits right now. However, I think it's always interesting to buy companies when they are, let's say, undervalued for their money right now. And I see, just with all this going on the economy, on the stock market, I think that it's worth to wait a bit, even when the stock goes further up. I have my initial position, which I'm happy with, but I would love to increase it by 50 or 70%, because this is such a great company and great product, which I think it's in an insane great and growth market, the artificial meat, and therefore I believe that I want to really load into the stock of Beyond Meat. However, not just now. Now everything feels a bit inflated, and therefore I'm believing from all of these three stocks, the virgin stock is a one that you can buy right now. In my personal opinion, this is not financial advice, and also the other stocks to watch very, very closely, because in growth stocks you can really see that volatility is a partner of the daily game, and therefore I believe that you can really wait and be patient, and this is how you can be very, very successful on the stock market. So subscribe and like, and I see you tomorrow.